I survived 100 days entirely in caves, facing bad monsters and scavenging for any food I can get my hands on. Caves can be a scary thing, especially now ever since that cave update a while back. I've always wanted to build a base down in the depths, and today that's what we're gonna do. If you guys do like the video, give it a thumbs up for the algorithm, and please hit that sub button as we're almost to 1,000 subscribers. Please. It would mean a lot. Alright, let's see what we can do in 100 days in caves. Without wasting any time, we start off with day 1. Now, to make this as simple as possible, I went into spectator mode to look for a mine shaft, as that was going to be my main source of wood to get started. I did find one, and this is where we're going to be spending the rest of our days. Oh, come on, it's been 5 seconds, creeper! I couldn't even get enough wood to make a crafting bench. I am using an animation mod for the mobs, and man, he sure does look, well, creepy, if you will. I've already resorted to punching stone with my bare hands. Ouch. He did go away though, so I was able to farm some more wood, and geez, without light, it is dark in here. I started digging for some stone, and thankfully there is some coal right on my foot. I decided that I was going to dig this out and make this my first base of operations. Even had some iron in here, so I didn't have to go out into the dark yet. Look at this, a nice pool of creepers. If I slip in, I'm as good as dead. I should test it. After grabbing some more wood, I made all my stone tools, and more importantly, I used some of that coal to make some sweet light. That's my prized possession for these 100 days. Caves can be pretty spooky without any lights. I lit up as much as I could on this bridge area, and the amount of creepers down there is really freaking me out. I also made a little hallway with 2 doors so no baddies would just wander in and kill me. We must be as careful as possible. I began digging some more of this out and ran into another corridor of the mine shaft. Better get rid of that lava. Stuff sure is deadly. I started searching through the corridor, but I heard the biggest scare of all time for these caves. Cave spiders. And man, were they loud. Keep it down, will ya? I tried to be as safe as possible by blocking spaces off and lighting anything I saw. While doing this, I also gathered more wood and fences. Okay, this resource pack makes it look like he's running at me. I'm terrified. The good news about being in a mine shaft is the amount of string I could get. But with string came the spawners, so I broke this one immediately. I really shouldn't have broken this because there were 2 other spawners like a couple feet away from this. And I probably could have made a triple cave spawner farm, but yeah, whatever. I didn't even remember that I broke this one at the start. After all the iron I've gathered, I started cooking it up, and while waiting for that, I instantly made a bed for us to sleep on. This bed is probably the worst bed I've ever slept in, but it'll have to do. Once that iron was done cooking, I made myself some clothes, and we were no longer cold or naked. I felt a little more safe to venture out in the world, or in this case, a cave. Look at this huge cavern. It's so deep and dangerous. While exploring the mine shaft some more, I also ran into a chest. We found some glowberries and pumpkin and beetroot seeds. The name tag was super useful as well. With this now we can get some food, as I've been starving for an entire day. Well, I have been eating rotten flesh every chance I get. This stuff is surprisingly good, paying no attention to the particles on my head. We were pretty limited on what I could use for building materials, especially since I needed to conserve wood. So I started digging down to deep slate since this stuff is super good looking. One of my favorite blocks when you cut it into brick or tiles. I did grab a bucket of lava just so I had a trash can I could throw away items in. I also dug up from my room, which I needed to make a farm. There was a hole though, so I got distracted and stumbled across this beauty of a cave. It even led to the surface. Finally, some sweet sunlight. Well, enough of being distracted. I ended up carving out an area for my farm, and it really sucks switching to another world where you had efficiency 4 picks and then this. Stone. I feel like a peasant. I took a break after carving out since I needed to find seeds other than beetroot and pumpkin. After not too long, I literally found a chest with not only melon seeds, but some bread too. Hopefully it's not too stale. Well, at least now we can heal the damage we've taken so far. I did gather more wood from the mine shaft to start making walls for my base, and it's looking pretty good. I also made a stone cutter so I can make this beautiful deep slate tile for the flooring and the roof. Oh look, another name tag. That's great. From here I put deep slate around our lava trash can so that we wouldn't burn the entire place down, and I also made a stairway up to the farm. Since I found some gold and redstone, I made a watch so I could tell whether it was day or night. That way I would know when the next day was so I could change it. And you know, I would love to have a sense of time down here. If not, I'm probably gonna go insane. Apparently you can't make beetroot soup how you make mushroom stew, so beetroot is a terrible food source. I'm going to totally starve down here. Grow faster, will ya? While mining some deep slate, I found my first pack of diamonds. It's refreshing to see a big vein like this when most of the time, you just find them in groups of, well, nothing. I always just find 1, maybe 2. There is no groups. Day 6 and we already have diamonds. Couldn't be more of a good sign for things to come. Whoa, don't scare me like that, man. She just jumped on my head. I started to use the tile for the farm as well since I just love this block so much. And while doing this, our first melon grew. Now we have some sort of good food source. That tastes amazing. Well, as amazing as a melon can taste underground. Alright, it's looking like a dungeon down here. This fence part is going to be for my glowberries, but I have no idea what conditions these things need to grow. Let's just say I never really grew any glowberries here. I did make this little archway to go back out and get some fresh air and sunlight if I ever needed it. Sometimes the caves can be pretty claustrophobic. Speaking of fresh air, I went up to get some and ran into a creeper and his girlfriend. How cute. They would literally die for each other. Man, there are a lot of mobs down there. Almost makes me want to jump down and test my luck. Almost. Screw it, I'm going for it. Take that, you undead bastards. And I turned my back for a second and I got you two following me. Whew. That worked up an appetite. But not for melons. For the flesh of my enemies. I ran out of torches, but I wanted to see what was around the corner. Looks like another mineshaft in case I needed more wood. Well, I packed up all the iron from our little adventure and headed back to base. All this beetroot for one bowl of soup. What is Mojang thinking? What else is this stuff used for? Hey, you looking at me funny? Die, you bony bitch. I ended up finding another chest on day 8, and this time it had way more glowberries, plus some torches, which you can never have too many of. I was just collecting as much wood as I could and lighting up everything to catch no surprises. Oh, would you looky here? More diamonds. I didn't actually mine these though since they were close to base. I figured I might as well come back when I have some sort of fortune on a pickaxe, since they spawn in little amounts most of the time. In fact, I did this for every single diamond I found from here on out until I had fortune. I don't regret a single thing, and it's probably bothering you guys a lot. Deal with it. I did make a diamond pickaxe though, and while being close to the surface, I found another section of the mineshaft and found another chest. This was great because it had a golden apple which I would need in case I caught a zombie villager, and well, I just can't farm any oak trees. Fresh rain. Just because we're in a cave doesn't mean we have to succumb to nasty cave water for a shower. A caveman has his needs too, you know. Anyone else have an obsession with lighting up everything they see? I feel like it's some OCD I have. I hate missing dark spots with torches. Now I couldn't use my bone meal to get regular seeds since I didn't have grass down here. So I decided to dig up so I could let the grass spread down here, which was dumb because I could have just went up, bone mealed the grass, and came back down with seeds. It wasn't a total waste though at the time since I wanted grass to spread anyways, but I did eventually end up getting a silk touch shovel, so there's that. I had saw these grass blocks from below, which is why I knew they were here, and this is totally illegal since I basically just don't want to touch the surface at all. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still on the ground here, i.e. I'm still under the surface. Now this was interesting since I was able to get a bunch of sand, and this also meant there had to be sugarcane around. Some of day 10 was me torching the sand until I could find the sugarcane, but I didn't get lucky in that department. Wait, there's a tree growing in the ravine. Oh, that is totally up for grabs. I chopped her down and was able to get some birch saplings from it. I just want to clarify, obviously if the tree wasn't below the surface, I wouldn't have gotten any saplings, but since I was extremely lucky one spawned here, I can now have a birch tree farm. I'd rather have an oak tree, but this is still great. With our newfound saplings, I cleared away near the bridge and made a platform to plant these on. Oh hey, our first tree down here. Let's go! That's gonna be huge for building instead of using stone. I did cook up some sand as well to make this, to see any glow squid that spawn below. It's a nice touch. So yeah, instead of waiting for the grass to grow down there, I might as well bone meal up here. And after finally getting some seeds, I planted them and had 2 trees that have grown. Now we're moving. No longer will we have to farm the mine shaft for its raggedy wood. I tried to make this platform a little nicer, putting some stairs down and by fixing some of its weird chains. With some leftover chains, I made a little swing as well. Caveman needs this place to sit, you know. I did make my way down to the lower depths, and while going down, you can't see it, but there's a little piece of diamond like right behind me that I found later. I also found some more diamond across the way. Wait, hold up. I didn't see that one while playing. That might still be there after the 100 days is finished. The beauty of writing a script and going over all the footage afterwards. I came down here so I can get some obsidian to set up a portal and craft an enchanting table. This big open space really inspired me, and I could imagine a nice house built in front of the lava there. Am I foreshadowing? No, not at all. I didn't make the enchanting table right away since I still needed sugarcane. I dug below the sand from earlier, and this actually took a little while to find, but after some time, we got them, and honestly, screw the rest. The surface is giving me the creeps. I'm a cave dweller, not a surface dweller. I decided to build a small sugarcane farm right below the bridge, and right after doing that, I went down to mine some more deep slate. This time, it was for my very plain hallway. And also, I just needed something to do. I mined out the floor, used my stone cutter, and that's not where the floor goes. There we go, much better. I pretty much just used tile all around it, and I don't know why, but this block makes me feel like I'm in old Minecraft, all dungeon-like. That's how Minecraft used to look in my eyes as a kid. I even extended it down to the reed farm. Now in the hallway to the left, I mined out an area, and this is where my nether portal was going to be. I immediately built it, and yes, right now it's looking rough, but I promise it'll look better soon. I did light it up though and went straight in. Alright, so far so good. No angry piglins. What in the world is that gas doing? I mean, I guess it's taking a shower, right? That's their equivalent to water? I just came here so I could trade with the piglins for leather, and after a few trades, we got some leather. I did this until I got 5 pieces and then went back home to farm my trees. The piglin did give me a lot of blackstone, so I used that to make blackstone bricks for my nether portal room. I mixed in the floor with some obsidian and the cracked one, and yeah, it's coming along nice. For the walls, I went for that nice tile once more and some tile wall for the exterior. I really liked how this turned out. The following day, I started working on what was going to be my enchanting room. I only mined for a bit and then started fixing these darn chains again. I wanted to make it look like the platform was suspended from them by putting them in the corners. I also made another little bench. Not that I was ever going to sit on it, but because it added to the area. Hey man, you better not turn on me while I have my back turned. I got my eye on you. That's one of my biggest fears in this game. Farming a bunch of beetroot for absolutely nothing. I went back to the lava down below, and here I lighted up some of the area since I knew I wanted to build a house down here. I also found some diamond while in the nearby caves. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up. Yep, and there's that diamond I was referring to earlier, right near me when I first fell down. Since I was lighting up so many areas, I actually ran out of coal, so I had to go on an expedition to find some. I ended up fighting a lot of mobs and even found a spider jockey, but ultimately, it's pretty hard to die from mobs in Minecraft unless you fall on top of a whole bunch. The mobs in the nether can also be very difficult if you start panicking. Endermen are also no joke if you can't push them away from you. But I guess water fixes that. Now I'm pretty sure day 18 to like 50, I'm playing on my laptop, but either way, on day 18, I went to the nether so I could trade with some more piglins. He gave me spectral arrows, which would be super useful if I never get chickens from a chicken jockey. This took some time since I only got like 3 leather and a whole bunch of nothing. Man, these guys drive a hard bargain. Like, how are you gonna give me gravel for gold? The stuff is everywhere here. Well, at least he gave me some more crack. No, I mean obsidian, not the actual white stuff. I decided to explore the nether a bit, and I never knew the amount of damage a magma cube could do if you don't move out of its way. I lost 7.5 hearts within like 2 seconds. That would not have been a good way to die. Oh, you want more? Yeah, well, come and get it. After getting some more gold, I traded, and slowly but surely, we're getting the leather we need for books. Day 20, I did some farming duties. I did expand the tree farm with another platform, and we were slowly getting the wheat to grow as well. I also removed this awkward floating mess out of the way. Of course, with new platforms came more chains to make it look suspended, and the sugarcane was extremely slow in growing, so it took me a while to get this thing up to speed. Now, since I had this pool of water below my bridge and there was a huge open space right below, I decided to break a hole at the top of the roof here, and that way water could come down and I can use it to get back up. But honestly, I used the other waterfall a lot more throughout my 100 days. This skelly also tried to shoot me off, and he got us down to almost half, but no worries, he's on the wrong side of the playing field. I eat burned bones for breakfast, dude. I also found some more diamonds in the water down here, and I'm just going to mention every bit of diamond I find until I get that fortune pick. You know, just to piss you guys off. Hey, calm down, little guy. Why are you so angry? Wait, what? Did that little zombie just drop me a carrot? I totally forgot they could do that. I guess he wasn't angry at all. I think he was just a really aggressive carrot seller. Too bad he had to die for it. This is huge, guys. It means we no longer have to live off just watermelon and bread. Phew, I was getting tired of that stuff. I started lighting up everything as I usually do, and guess what? Alright, I won't rub it in too much. There was even a mine shaft down here, and when I turned the corner... Damn, no invite, guys? Die, all of you. Wait, no way! It's a zombie villager. Oh my god, this is literally 2 minutes after the baby zombie dropped me the carrot. But how am I gonna get him all the way back up there? I still haven't been able to get blaze rods and make a weakness potion. I trapped him in a little hole to see if he would pick up a helmet so he wouldn't despawn, but he didn't. So somehow I had to get this guy all the way up to my base, make an anvil, and name tag him. I've had zombie villagers despawn like literally 10 blocks away from me before, so this was frightening. I ended up trapping him in this open space and started digging up. This was the most luckiest part of the run. And the run has been pretty lucky. I dug up only a couple blocks and ended up finding the mine shaft where I found the diamond earlier, so now I had a straight shot to my base where he could follow me from. There's that diamond again. Alright, let's go, buddy. I led him all the way up, and what's even more perfect is I have the little hallway with the door so I can just trap him in there, get that name tag, make an anvil, and name him Martin. I couldn't believe how well this was going for me. Now I just need potions to make him a villager since I had already found golden apples. I did trap him under the floor since I wanted to keep using my hallway. The reed farm was also completely filled, and all I needed to do now was make my bridge here 3 high so that the reeds could grow in that middle section. But first, I took a well-deserved nap on that creaky string bed I made earlier. Upon waking up, I got down to work on raising this up so our little sugarcane can grow, and it doesn't look the best, but it'll have to do. The rest of the day wasn't much, just me exploring and finding another chest, but this one didn't have much in it. The following day though, I went back to the nether in search for a fortress. I didn't find one, but I did start trading again for more leather, and this time got 9 pieces. I think they're warming up to me. You know, it wouldn't be a Minecraft run if you didn't return to Sender at least once in the world. But I think I tested my luck too much since this thing put me on fire and I nearly died. And all that for no gas tier. What a cheap. Anyways, what I did find instead of a fortress was a bastion remnant, and I'm terrified of these things. But I wasn't going to let fear control me, and neither should you guys. So stop being afraid of that subscribe button, and subscribe. I began digging into this place like the biggest wuss ever, and slowly made my way while building until I could get that piece of nether wart. I did end up grabbing it and went outside to basically taunt everyone there on the pillar. I'm guessing this piggy didn't like what I had to say since he hit me twice through the windows of my wuss base. It's okay, everything's fine. From here I dug straight up, being as careful as I could be and hitting these guys on their feet. I mean, I just wasn't taking any more chances here. Eventually I got to the chest and found a mending pickaxe, which was amazing, and a disc, but more importantly, sweet pork chops. On the way back home, I traded some more and ended up getting more leather, this time way more than the previous attempts. I made a little nether wart farm, and that was that. During my trip to the nether, I did manage to get some glowstone, and with this I was able to kind of light the floor below my bridge. I had enough leather to make all of the bookshelves I needed for enchanting. All I was missing was the sugarcane for the paper. While I was waiting for that to grow, I started putting up walls for the hallway here. I went for that tile once more and used some birch stair to get that circular look, if that makes sense. Then I also made the floor as well as the roof with tile. I think it looks pretty good. Down below where I was going to build my house, I used shroom light instead of glowstone to light up the water. I did chop down some more trees today, and I was finally getting close to finishing our enchantment station. I also started decorating this room pretty much the exact same way as the portal room, and I put shroom light above the enchantment table. Just 2 more bookshelves to go. Now I knew there was a spawner right down the hall, so I went to check it out, and this little guy almost came out to eat me. Ha! You can't beat my super fast reflexes. After waiting some time for the little guy to despawn, I went to go light it up, and this was going to be our way of getting levels since it's literally just down the hall. I started gathering all the material I needed for a cave spider spawner, and if I remember, I'll leave a link to the video I got this from. Now I haven't built it yet, so mining some quartz is gonna have to do for getting levels, and regardless, I wanted to make the room out of quartz, so win-win. My first enchantment was a diamond pick, and I actually got some fortune, that being fortune 2 and efficiency 4. I also combined it with that mending pick I got earlier from the bastion remnant. Right after though, I began mining out everything around the spawner in a 9x9 cube. I placed down some water, set up everything else, and placed down my hoppers. Now obviously I didn't care how it looked from the inside, but I did go for that white theme as I said before. Once it was all set up, I made it pitch black and waited for everyone to just come crawling in. Well, of course I missed something, and they were crawling up and getting stuck. Let's just fix that real quick. And there we go. Now it's working. Might as well grab this diamond since I have fortune now. And that one as well. And before I grab the other one, I might as well try to kill myself. When I mined this one though, I made an opening to another cave right below. Alright, that is way too many mobs for me right now. Instead, let's go grab these 2 diamonds. I also found another opening that led to the same cave I was just talking about, and this was a way safer way in, so I started killing all the mobs and lighting up the area, and would you look at that? Grass can spawn naturally down here. That's pretty cool. Man, there sure are a lot of diamonds in the area. Alright, last 3 pieces of diamond, I promise. Well, with all those shiny diamonds, I made myself a set of diamond armor and a sword. Then I went back to our little room to finish it off. I did go into the nether to get some glowstone, and while I was doing that, I casually mined quartz because why not? And right after, I got a sharpness 4, Fire Aspect 2 sword. I also saw that I can get an infinity bow after, but I gotta be honest, I completely forgot about this and ended up losing the chance to get it. Well, anyways, with all that quartz, I started with the walls in here and I used birch slabs for the flooring as well as the ceiling. White just screams poison, so that's why I went with it. I also used some tile wall because I thought it looked cool and put a piece of glowstone right above. In the middle of this, I also got a silk touch shovel, which was nice, and I then made the stairs tile as well to fit with the tunnel theme. And speaking of the tunnel, I put some glowstone in the hall's ceiling so I could get rid of these torches. I kind of just extended the tunnel and connected it to the cave spawner since it was right there, and glowstone is pretty ugly, so I made some birch trapdoors which actually look nice as a cover to let the light through. I then did the same pattern as before with these stairs, finished the remaining wall and the roof as well. Now on day 35, I harvested the carrots so I could grow more and then moved some iron over to the spawn to make iron swords since my sword wasn't mending. I was just waiting for the spiders to spawn, got my levels, and the first piece of armor was unbreaking pants. Well, that kind of sucks. No way it happens twice, right? Right? Oh, come on. Luckily, my helmet did come out as Unbreaking 3, Aqua Affinity, and Proc 4. Our bow came out as a Power 3, which would be nice if I had arrows. I didn't even notice this before, but the diamonds that I found leading to the cave, right above, there's actually more diamonds. This was actually a decent vein. I also finished up lighting the water down here, and I began setting up storage to bring everything I needed down here to build my house. I didn't really have a plan as usual, but I started off with these stone pillars going down to the floor of the water. Now this was on my laptop where I don't actually have the recording mod downloaded, so I don't have a time lapse for this. So I guess we'll just do this. Alright, little level break. Nice, silk touch but no unbreaking. Well, that's going to be useful either way since we're building with wood. Bro, I'm a diamond magnet right now. I did take a break from building to get more deep slate, and as usual, I got distracted again and started fighting some mobs. But ladies and gentlemen, everything happens for a reason because I found another zombie villager who did not want to hold anything just like the last one. Regardless though, I made her follow me all the way down this tunnel I was making and had to make like a little bridge so he can cross the water. Luckily the water slows him down so I could dig up a stairway and he wouldn't get me trapped while I was doing it. That's it. Come on, girl. Once she was up here, I just led her the same way I did the other one and we walked all the way back home. We managed to get her in the hallway and now we have 2 villagers. Well, not yet at least. I did have to lead her to the anvil to rename the name tag so that she wouldn't despawn on me, and with that we named her Martha. Can't believe how lucky I've been throughout this whole thing. Oh, and we have a slime chunk all the way down here, which is super cool. Alrighty, let's get back to it. Honestly, I'm not the best builder by any means, but I actually kind of liked it. It was the first time I did 2 roofs put together, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I made a little wheat farm as well. You know, just floating in the water. Time for some more levels. This time a Protection 3 book, and for the second enchantment on my boot, it was showing Feather Falling 4, so I immediately grabbed that, especially down here in the caves, where it would be super useful. I'm not done though, I also did a bow and combined it to make Power 4, and there goes all my levels. Now, I did put Protection 3 on my chest plate since I didn't have any, and I had a Depth Strider book, so I put that on my shoes since there's always water pockets in these caves. On day 49, I found an amethyst pocket, and as much as I love amethyst, I really wanted the calcite here. It makes for a really cool block to use. Is this the only way to get this stuff? The following day though, I knew it was time to get the blaze rods I needed to get these zombies to turn back to villagers. I found a fortress honestly extremely close to my portal, but I just didn't see it because of the fog. I popped the fire resistant potion, and with that, got a ton of blaze rods, more than just for a brewing stand in case I wanted to fight the dragon. And as quickly as I went in is as quickly as I got out. Alright, we're at the halfway point and it's time to set up our brewing station. Oh, shh! I forgot I had you in there. Hello. Why am I Steve? Or Alex? Well, I realized I need to go to the nether to get some mushrooms to make the weakness potions. I quickly found out that you can't use red mushrooms to make it, so I had to go back in, grabbed brown mushrooms, and headed back home. Oh, shh! Okay, now I'm scared to go to the portal. He just went to the portal. Oh, he turned into a pigman. Well, they've changed. And there is deep contact. Eye contact. I think they're in love. They just don't, they've been like this for like 5 minutes. They just don't break. They might move, but they're holding hands. Or nubs. I guess they're holding nubs, right? Because they crossed their arms. Now that we had villagers, I decided to build a village right below my house. So I went down there, fought some monsters, and lit everything up with torches. Hey man, don't set me on fire. 1 piece of diamond again? No way. My house was looking a little plain though, which I never fixed, but I did do this trapdoor trick for the ceiling lights. Maybe I'll decorate this in my 200 video. That is if you guys want to see a 200 days in caves only. Might as well put some greenery up here as well. Yeah, I'm not too great when it comes to interior design. I also decided to put these pillars here of birch as like support for the patio. Regular birch log is probably the ugliest log, so of course I stripped them of their dignity. This lava pool was pretty scary being here as well, but I just started covering it up, and while going to mine some materials, I ran right into some diamonds. I feel like this happens to me way too often. Alright, that's not any safer than before, but it sure does look nice. This stream of water was looking kind of weird here too, and awkward, so I changed it up to whatever this is. Now I wanted to make a tunnel down to where the village was going to be, and right when I started digging, you guessed it, we found some more diamonds. Oh, what is happening? We're filthy rich down here. I bet we're richer than the muggles on top. I made this like archway, and it was going to lead down, so I had to do a lot of digging. But before that, I went upstairs to harvest some carrots. I got my first set of emeralds while trading carrots and pumpkins. I also traded for some cookies. I don't know where you're getting these cookies, Martha. But you cooking like a goddess. Another thing we traded for was the best food in the game, some golden carrots. We're never going hungry again. Now I was farming coal and then my game crashed, so when I went back into my world, it sent me back to when I was trading with the villagers, but the coal I mined was gone and the torches I made were also gone. Very strange, but oh well. I made another bed so these guys would make a baby while I was off doing other things. You know, like searching for more coal. I ended up combining 2 pickaxes to make them efficiency 5 since they were basically the same pick, but one was fortune 2 and the other was fortune 3. For the rest of the day, I just went back to lighting up everything around where I was going to build a village. The following day, I began digging out that tunnel I was talking about, and I tried to make it not so uniform and instead more natural. I did this for the next 2 days, as well as starting the first house in the village. I also grabbed some glow berries for some natural light down here, hanging from the ceiling. I went for this nice pattern on the side of the wall for some depth, and the roof kind of had me stumped because I didn't know how I was going to do it. It was looking pretty weird right now, but don't worry, I'll change it later. I filled in the floor with some birch as well as the ceiling. While lighting up some more of the surrounding area, I actually found another zombie villager and trapped him, but he did end up despawning, which sucked. It didn't suck too bad though, since upstairs Martha and Martin went to work for this little guy. Now since my diamond pants sucked and had no protection, I went AFK to farm some spiders. Man, do these guys look creepy with that animation. Imagine if spiders were this big in real life. Now instead of pants, I actually saw respiration on our new helmet, so I did that instead and combined it with my existing one since there were a lot of water pockets that I wanted to explore. With this, I ventured out to some of these pools so that I can get some coal. In the process, I actually found a drown, and this looks super creepy. Him just slowly swimming to me in this dark water. Hey look, we got a big vein of diamonds. Okay, this is hands down the most amount of mobs I've seen so far. I'm really tempted to just fall down there and fight them all. But I won't. I'll keep my composure. Aw man, screw it. Charge! I did extend this dirt to farm more wheat, and right after I went down to the village and my entire house got burnt from this lava right next to it. Oh well. I didn't really like how the roof turned out anyways. I started rebuilding right away, placing beds inside and fixing everything. I also placed grass blocks in different areas since I needed it to spread. I wanted to have a lot of green down here. As another little idea, I placed the amethysts I had down as like little crystals just for some decoration. It looks weird now, but soon it'll come all together. I even put one on the ceiling. On day 62 and 63, I needed more XP, so again I waited in front of these guys who I know would just love to chew my face off. I had an idea of using the stems that grow in the nether in the village, so I headed down there to grab some, as well as some of the grass and stuff here. This was the best decision I ever made because once I was done collecting everything I needed, I found this guy. I was so confused at first, and then I remembered that baby piglins and pigmen are always spawning in the nether, which means a jockey probably spawned and then despawned. Now all I needed to do was hope this guy didn't despawn, so I made some fences, trapped him in there, and went all the way back to go make a lead. I grabbed the little guy, and I just love how I'm making him run super fast.
Look at him book it. You got it, buddy.
I managed to get him back, and man, I've been super lucky in this run. Speaking of luck,
Chicky! We did it! He freaking laid an egg! The chicken spawned!
I guess I was gone for so long that Martha and Martin had another baby and everyone was grown up too. I did trap the baby chick in the spawner room since I didn't have a second lead on me, and I saw I could get a looting 2 sword, so I did that, which was great. You know, it's a good thing that the chickens float. Imagine if this was a pig. It would have taken a lot more to get him down here. Or maybe I could have done it the same way, but a pig definitely had a chance to die. When I got him down, I basically just tied him to the fence like the prisoner he was. I was super excited to try out my new wood type, and I kind of liked it with the birch as a border. I even changed some of the birch spots with the warped planks and stairs. And these trapdoors make for a good covering on the shroomlight. Shroomlight isn't as ugly as glowstone though. Like I said before, I do want it to be nice and green down here, so I grabbed some birch leaves and placed them on the ceiling. Nothing too crazy, but it added a nice touch. From here I went back up to grab this chick, and then this happened.
No, Martha! You get back up there, Martha! Martha! What are you doing? Upstairs.
I love how I just yanked him off the cliff. He probably thinks I'm treating him bad since he almost went into the lava.
I don't trust this chicken, he's going straight to the lava.
By the way, thanks for someone on the last video who told me coarse dirt could be hoed to turn into regular dirt. I thought it couldn't be hoed at all, and that was the downside of doing the gravel plus dirt trick. Thankfully, it's not like that since we needed a lot of dirt for the village. I went down into the waters to gather some dirt, and while coming up, I heard some spiders. Now, I knew I had this spawner right here, but this one was lit, so they weren't coming from this one. But I kind of just ignored it and left it alone for now. So the next day, I just mined up some more dirt and went back down to my base to check on my chickies.
Dude, that was first try egg. That was 3 first try eggs in a row. I feel like I've been doing this the whole time. Every time I mine blocks like this, not every time, but a good portion of times, I find exposed diamond.
Well, with all that dirt I found, I dug out some more of the floor and started placing it. But every time I place it, I had to hoe it. Apparently you can't hoe it either if there's a block or torch above it, which is super annoying. I did set up a portal down here as well, since I didn't want to keep going up if I needed to go to the nether, but before I went to the nether, I made a little fencing for the chickens so I could start breeding them.
Where do you think you're going? Are you stupid? Okay, I really have to block that off. Looks like he's making friends with the natives. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I went to the nether to see if maybe somehow I could get some wither skeleton heads for the wither since I had a looting sword, and I would love a beacon to make this dirt placing a little easier. But of course it was super rare and I wasn't even finding any wither skeletons. Basically I wasted a whole day doing this and I knew I shouldn't have. After that useless expedition I went straight back to placing and hoeing up the dirt. I needed a place for storage as well, so I began setting that up right in the wall here. As you can see, I came across some more diamonds doing this. I went with that nice stripped stem, which looks 10 times better than the actual stem, and used some tile wall for the base of the windows. I was running out of birch, so I planted and bone mealed a ton of saplings down here since I was too lazy to go back up. I also thought we would replace the trunk with stripped stem, but I changed this later into just stripped birch since it looked weird. Now I really love the look of calcite, so I used that in the storage room for the floor and the ceiling, and used tile for the walls again. I think it looks pretty neat. I grabbed some of this stuff as well from the nether in case I wanted to use it. Might as well grab some more stems while I'm down here. And I hate coming to the nether. It's so creepy, and the noises you hear from the piglins just freaks me out. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Day 72 is where I found out that Optifine's fog feature also gets rid of the nether fog. Wow, look at that. There's a fortress right in front of my eyes. I couldn't even see it.
What the? Hey, man. That missed you. And then combat. Yeah, scream like a bitch. Whoa! Okay, it's like I turn off the fog and everybody sees me now, right? Is that what's going on?
I also came here to find a soul sand valley to make those blue torches, but I thought they would light the same way as regular torches. I was wrong. On the bright side, see what I did there? I was able to get a ton of bones from it, and we confirmed our guess from before.
There it is. Chicken jockey. Look at that.
And when I got back home, bees had spawned on the trees. I didn't even realize that they could grow like that. Now we have little bee friends. It sure was getting lonely down here, especially with those villagers speaking all weird and stuff. Although I didn't use the blue torches, I did use the blue campfires to put under the beehive so that I could harvest the honey without these guys going hostile on me. Here I did end up changing the trees to birch strip, which looks a lot better in my opinion. I didn't do much interior for the house since I needed to get started on more builds here for the villagers. I did put beds in the storage area, but you'll see why I removed them soon. I organized all my chests because since the beginning, I've just been throwing all my stuff in random chests. Day 74 and I'm just now doing chest organization. That's just how I am, guys. I'm a slob, I know. I started a second house that had like a second section built into the walls, which I thought would look nice. Everything is pretty much the same theme here, but I did change up the roof to a more steeper one, which I thought looked nice as well. And I really think the warp doors bring the entire green theme together. I also tried to put slabs in the wall for some detail as well, and using the wall in the front here. I didn't go crazy on any interior design just like my house, but I did go with some shroomlight, and for the room in the wall, I actually went with some warped planks for the flooring and the ceiling. From here, I just started placing more dirt. Again, I think the dirt is the most annoying part of the whole thing, since deep slate is a little annoying to mine, and I had to hoe every single piece of dirt after I placed it. To make this a little easier, I crafted a diamond hoe because everyone needs a diamond hoe up in their life. And bred the chicken some more. At least we were going to have arrows for the dragon fight now. I felt like the spider spawner wasn't doing the best it could for levels, so I went back to check up on that other spawner I found earlier to see if there was another one right below it. I really doubted it.
I came here earlier, and I found this spawner, right? And I heard spiders below, but I thought it was just dark under there, so this was just spawning them. But no, they're literally so close to each other, and my spider spawner is really slow.
Well, I had the idea to make a triple spawner, but I knew the first spawner was just way too far from these two to do that. But remember that spawner I broke earlier? Yeah, that one might have been able to work, but oh well. Regardless, 2 spawners were better than 1, so I attempted to do all 3, and if not, I would just do the 2. I dug everything out, figured the first spawner wouldn't reach, and continued on the same way I made the first spawner. The only difference is I ran the water down 2 times instead of 1 to the edge of this spawner's cube. And by the way, digging down like this ran me into the water nearby, so this was super annoying to build around. We did manage to make it work, and I was so confused how they were getting through, but I was like, oh wait, I forgot to put the trapdoors. But of course that wasn't the only problem, they were climbing up and getting stuck. I got rid of the glass in my AFK chamber and fixed the wall so that they wouldn't do that anymore. Overall, it was ugly, but it was super effective. It was already day 82 when I finished this, so I didn't make it look pretty at all, but who knows, maybe in the next video I will. The important thing is that it works. Right after this, it was time to move my pals all the way down to their new home. And the good thing about mine shafts is that they give you a ton of rails, so after setting everything up, I slowly pushed them with some powered rails, made a little bridge down, almost drowned one in the water, and led them through our tunnel into the village. Welcome to your new home, guys. We got bees, freshly grown trees, and comfy spider-infested beds.
Oh, what the? I was kind of hoping you guys would take the house.
Now the torches weren't looking good, but these lanterns were beautiful, so I used them as decoration instead. Well, back to placing a bunch of dirt. Now for some reason these guys walked up the stairs and tried to get out. Like what? I made all this for you guys and you want to leave already? You ungrateful people. I figured out later it was because they were actually trying to get to their workstations, so I had to get rid of those up there and make them new ones. Another day, another time-consuming period of dirt placing. Alright, so this is when I figured out they wanted to go up to their workstation, since during the day they head to this little corner and at night they go straight back to their homes. So with that I created a little carrot farm so Martha could do her thing, and I already had a stone cutter here.
They're coming. I think they just had like a little date. Okay, so I understand what's happening. They're going over here because their workstations are upstairs.
The chicken farm is coming along nicely. Time to kill some.
Mother's dog. Oh, I just sweep them.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I think I may have killed some baby chicks there. With all those feathers, now we can make some arrows. After getting some flint, of course. I was able to make 4 stacks of arrows, which should be more than enough for the dragon. Where did you come from? I have to light it up there.
Hello.
Oh wait, there's a zombie spawner here. That's useful. Not too much in the chest though.
Oh no. Wait, no, he should be. I'm sure he's in here. He's dead. He's dead. Where is he? Am I crazy? He's right there, dude. What bed is that way? There's no bed that way.
Alright, it was time to go to the end, and I made 16 Eyes of Ender, and man, was this a trip and a half. Obviously, I didn't dig from deep slate since 1, it's harder to mine than regular stone, but strongholds don't even spawn at that level anyways. Man, when I tell you this took a long time, I mean it. This took me 4 whole days to find. I lost 6 eyes on the way too, since I have no idea what happens to them when I throw them into the wall. I even tried carving the tunnel high, and sometimes it worked to get the eye back, but yeah, there's no way 10 eyes was going to be enough for the portal. Eventually, I did find it 2,000 blocks in whatever direction I was going in, and it's kind of funny that I didn't notice when I ran into the stone brick.
It's been 2 hours? Oh! I was stretching! I was literally stretching.
The good thing about the stronghold was I could get a complete stack of bookshelves and 6 apples, which I otherwise couldn't get at all. I actually had some trouble finding the portal room because there wasn't a direct entrance to it. I only found it because I could hear the silverfish, so I broke this wall and yeah, there it is, completely hidden. Unfortunately, only 1 eye was filled, so I was missing 2 eyes to complete it. The good news is there is lava here and I had a water bucket, so I could just create a portal to the nether and kill some endermen in there. Now I say I was gonna kill endermen, but I did try piglins at first, but yeah, they're still cheap bastards from before. Oh yeah, and I almost died from an enderman.
Don't mind me. It's like a sign that he's about to die. Okay, well, that didn't need to happen. Oh! Whoa! Why did I think that was too high? That's not too high, bro. That is 3 high.
On day 91, I took a speed potion and jumped into the portal.
This happens every time. And I never learn. Not good at all. We're doing her up. Yes! Get angry at him. Oh! Hey, that's not very... Whoa! Oh, they are mad. Aim correctly. Die. Oh!
There we go, the dragon has fallen once again to my blade. Uh-oh, it looks like I've pissed off the locals. And there we go, the egg is ours. I did go straight ahead to find an end city. I didn't really need an elytra, I just wanted the shulker boxes to make building the city a little easier. Okay, this is super scary, but no worries, I'm a total pro at holding the sneak key thanks to our 1 block 100 days. After some time, I did end up finding an end city. See what I did there? It wasn't too hard raiding this, especially with my feather falling boots. I killed some of these guys, got some scraps, got the elytra, and got the heck out of here. When I got back, I needed to repair my pick from mining that huge tunnel to the stronghold, but luckily it has mending on it. Also, with all those levels from the dragon, I enchanted a couple books and got unbreaking, so I just put it on the elytra and one on my axe. Shulker boxes are probably the best thing invented ever in Minecraft. Like, the elytra is cool and all, but these portable chests, man, they're useful. What color do you guys usually go for? Or do you color code things? The majority of day 95 was just me filling in more dirt and grass patches. I even saw Martha and Martin doing the deed in the public.
We just unmasked that baby like a wizard. You see that?
The following day, I did the same thing, but bone mealed the grass so that it looks a little bit more natural and pretty. Oh, and I caught this.
You just gotta ignore... She regretted it. She stopped doing it. You cheater! Martin! She cheated on you, man. I know, Martin. It's rough, it really is.
I decided to make another little home out here near the portal. It was going to be in the wall, and as you can see, I was having some trouble coming up with the design that I wanted to do. I did come up with something wacky and did the same style of builds from the previous homes. Could be better, but I didn't hate it. I also tried to decorate the front wall with fences, and I tried a couple of things and settled on some green fences. The land needed a little bit of detail, so I went ahead and made 2 ponds which were cute, and I put another amethyst crystal right here so I could place the egg on top of it. The craziest thing happened right after as well. A cat spawned, but I didn't have any fish. I didn't know cats could spawn in man-made villages, but we just saw it. Thanks to someone on the last video, they told me villager cats could be tamed and not wild ones, so I immediately started fishing and got some cod. I wonder where the cod came from. And I forgot to mention it, but a golem spawned as well, so I'm assuming there's some dark spots around. Unfortunately, the cat did despawn, but I fished away anyways in case another one spawned in. Oh, okay. That's one way of getting leather. I went ahead and got some glowberries to get some natural light on the roof, and I mean, this place was looking lively. We had bees, villagers, golems, and hopefully some cats soon. Once I got all those glowberries up, I decorated the place with some of these green things and some cobwebs on the buildings. While doing these chores, a white cat spawned, which was super fast, and I had just enough fish to tame the little guy. I was super lucky. From here, I started working on my last 2 builds for the 100 days. I made this one in the wall, and it didn't take me too long, and it was kind of cool. I made the inside with tile once more, and I moved on to our final project. I made a small house on day 100. I carved out a little space on this rocky hill and started with the foundation. It was nearly identical to the one behind it, except it didn't have an extension to it. It does look like my roofs are getting better though, which is nice. It was day 100 and I was super proud of everything I've accomplished. The village was really starting to be full of life with all those babies popping out, as well as all this greenery. If you guys want to see 200 days in the caves, let me know in the comments as I read every single one, and give me ideas for what you want me to build / do in the next video. Well anyways, like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe as I'm super excited to post more on this channel. So yeah, that's it. Bye!